Or
Oh my gosh. My Lord.
What is going on, everyone? This is the Digital Cypha Podcast coming straight at you with another week. This week we have Theo Zales and we have the Don CJG. What is going on, everybody? What is going on?
Howdy, Ebonics, you weren't here last week. What happened?
I don't know.
I had to do the podcast by myself. No.
it was the weather.
Right. No.
That damn Ida.
I was very much asleep last week, and we appreciate you. Appreciate you covering for us both.
Yeah, it was a trying time, half the hour.
That was good, to be fair.
How you guys been?
Not bad, not bad. I'm feeling a little more awake this week, clearly. But yeah, it's been a busy week, and we're living, doing all right.
Gotcha. And you, Dio, how you been?
Been good. I took this week off from work and not doing that much gaming. I've been playing a bit, but just relaxing, hanging out with the kids and the family. And I would say probably the game I've been playing the most this week is Fortnite. Just trying to get that last week of the season in before it ends.
Word. Speaking of Fortnite, last week we kind of announced that there was an announcement that Fortnite was pushing the Martin Luther King event. Did you take a look at
Yes.
that? Oh, it hasn't come too soon yet.
It did. It was kind of weird to me. I guess not that it's a bad thing. It just kind of seemed like random. You know what I mean? Like, why is this coming out of nowhere? Not like you need a reason for it because it's an important part of our history.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely something that you would expect more close to his birthday.
Right.
Yeah.
I think what they realize that they have all these events going on with artists and anime and all these other stuff. People come and watch and see the spectaculars that happens within Fortnite, but they haven't done anything relative to people of significance, of past time. So that was their first introduction to it. They wanted to see how people would gravitate to it and, who would get involved. I mean, of course, I think, it probably turned out well, but just looking at the commercial, it felt more like a museum / amusement park
Yes.
of a historical time around Martin Luther King. So, but you said it was pretty cool. What did you do? If you can tell,
I didn't actually go into it. I just sold a section when I was on Fortnite because, I'm not gonna lie. I play Fortnite to shoot and kill other people, not really to make peace. So that's why I kind of found it a little weird. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it per se. It's just that, maybe it would have been better to maybe do someone else who was relevant in that month, because then it not that, like I said, it doesn't really. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but of course you're still gonna have those people who are like, oh, you're virtue signaling or blah 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 blah. And it's like the easy way to shut those kind of people down is make it relevant to whatever's going on at the time or that month or whatever it is.
Right, and we'll see. It was it September or was it August?
August.
I think what they could have done, and it might still be a little bit of an issue for current day because it's not that far gone, right? Would be President Obama. His birthday was on the 4th.
See, that would have made more sense.
I think something like that, or someone else who has changed history as it relates to historical time. It doesn't matter race or whatever, right? It's just what they've done to contribute to America's, they contribute to the community and to the nation, as a whole. So,
for sure, I definitely agree with that.
So I see where you're going with that. Definitely. So you was doing some Fortnite. What else? That's it?
I played a little bit of different things. I played some Craftopia that came out on Game Pass.
I looked at that. I didn't go past the character creation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really basic. Yeah,
no, that wasn't even basic. I was like, no, there's no dreads, there's no braids. There's
the struggle of being a black man in games, right?
I'm saying, it's like no. All when you go to the barber and you're like, just even me out all the way around.
Yeah.
Not even that. It's just bald head.
Really?
Like that. And then I want to be dark, right? Nah.
Yep. Yeah, we pretty much had anime hair, bald, and mohawk for boy haircuts.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it is a Japanese company who make Craftopia, so I kind of get it. But it's really basic. I think it has cool ideas, especially for people who like that kind of game, like Minecraft and Ark and everything like that. It's definitely taking it in a more RPG direction, because you actually can level up your character in certain kind of ways, and there's combat and loot and dungeons in it. So it's definitely going to be interesting when they flesh it out more, I think.
Cool. But you got some news for us. A little bit of Warcraft, a little bit of stuff going on.
Yeah. There's definitely some changes with Warcraft. They kind of have to at this point, because Final Fantasy 14 is putting them in a spot where they have to like get their player base back,
right?
Because you just have a lot of unsatisfied players who've been playing the game for 10-15 years and are like, I'm kind of done doing the same thing over and over. I'm kind of done playing your game, telling you what I want you to do, and then you ignore me and tell me I don't really want that. Where you have
oh wow.
Yeah, oh no, like they're like really infamous for it. Like that's like one of the biggest sayings like in BlizzCon, right? Is like, you think you do, but you don't, Like that was like one of the first things they said to people who wanted that classic server.
That's a bit.
And this is like the head honcho, saying that kind of stuff to you.
So they were treating their community like they're the kids, and like the community's the kids and they're the parent, and they know best. They know what they want.
For years.
Kind of like, like, I want a Game Boy. No, you would take the Nintendo DS. I mean the Nintendo NES. It might be old, but it's
it was the same thing even for like what was it, Diablo Immortal, right? Like when they first announced it, they're like, hey, this is a mobile game, it's gonna be great, blah blah blah. And then like one of the first questions, like, hey, is this like a out of season April Fool's joke? Ooh. And they're like, what, you guys don't have phones?
Oh,
that was their response.
What?
Yeah.
What an that sounds so toxic, dude.
I mean, the devs, like, you figure now you know why the community was toxic, because the devs didn't give
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a mix of both, right?
Wow.
So now the WoW team is finally listening.
Yeah.
And they're oh man, come on, really? Sorry.
Uh-oh.
No.
The wifey's like, you better not be on that podcast. Now we're calling.
You talking to those people again?
But
yeah.
But yeah, like they're finally listening to the community. They're fixing it up where and see, I'm happy they're making these changes, but it's kind of one of those things like where it's kind of like too little too late, right?
Yeah.
Because Shadowlands has been out for a good almost not a year yet, but it'll be a year soon. And these are changes that they're finally putting in. And these are suggestions that they got back in the beta of the expansion.
And the beta was how long ago again?
I guess maybe 9 months ago.
Okay. So it wasn't too long.
9 months is a long time in MMO time.
I was expecting 2 years, dude. I mean, just being honest. I'm not like, I'm not too much into WoW to know when these DLCs drop, but when somebody speaks on that level, like I know what's best for you, so shut up, right? When they,
I mean, there's definitely a lot of things people have been complaining about for years, but like the changes they're making right now are more relevant to decisions they've made in this that they've made in this past expansion.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
good news, but in the end of the day, it's like we've seen this from Blizzard before. They come and they fix it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to continue with the good customer feedback and service, or are they just going to revert back to what they were doing?
Well, I do
Well-
wonder how much this comes from just damage control.
Exactly.
Well, we have to
That's
also
fair.
consider that they fired the guy and they got an Xbox exec over there alongside with someone else. I don't know, pretty
Mhm.
much. And seeing how what is his Quake? I think his name is. I might be wrong. That's his Twitter or gamer tag of old. I'm not sure what he is now. How he was involved with the Game Pass and the Series X
Yep.
launch, and now he's at Blizzard, and now he's like, what is he like? He's leading Blizzard at this point with a co-owner.
Yep.
Or I want to say owner, manager maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're like like presidents or whatever.
Yeah. So
Like,
to see
they're
that,
splitting up
there's
like
hope.
responsibilities 50-50.
Yeah, dude, there's hope. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah,
Because
for sure.
you make a move and then another lawsuit. Somebody comes up with another statement. People shredding papers. It's like, dude, like, can you?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that happened too.
Yeah, I remember
that's-
reading that headline. That was crazy, man.
Yeah, and I don't understand why people are surprised because, and I'm not saying this is an okay practice for them to do, right? But
Mhm.
people have this really big misconception that HR is there for the people and to help people, and it's like, no, like, in the end of the day, HR is supposed to take care of the company. Like
Right.
that's their job. They're there to mitigate issues so the company doesn't have lawsuits brought up against them. So it's not the other way around where they're protecting your rights. They protect your rights to the extent to make sure that their company doesn't get sued. That's really the point of HR, and a lot of people don't really understand that. It's not like they're like your union representative.
Gotcha. Well, see, that's HR, right? I'm sure you guys
Yes.
hearing something. But I'm actually trying to download a video because I want y'all impressions on something.
Okay.
So, what about I think there was a law firm that they hired that specialized in basically dismantling, or what's it called, disbanding unions or something of that nature. Like, what's that about? Like, I mean, that's crazy.
So I think I'm not really surprised to see this because I think the gaming industry in general,
Mhm.
I'm not saying I'm pro or against unions. I'm pretty neutral in that respect because I've seen unions behave just as badly as companies do. And that's just anything with power, right? Any form of power is eventually going to get corrupted. So if the majority of the people who work at a certain company want unions, then let them have unions. But a lot of these gaming companies don't want like that extra wheel that they have to go through when it comes to like regulations and everything, And it's not just Blizzard. I mean, you don't really have unions in the gaming industry in general, If that was the case, you wouldn't have all these like, last minute like crunches where they're having people work, 12,
Right.
16 hours a day for like the
Yeah,
last
change
month or
a
two
lot of the
before the
industry.
launch. Yeah. So
Mhm.
there definitely needs to be more regulations, I think, I won't even say regulations. I think that there needs to be a lot more enforcement of regulations. Like the gaming industry is kind of like, I feel like neglected.
Mhm.
I guess maybe people just feel like it's not like a real job. Like people assume like these people are just playing video games all day. It's like, no, they're working.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't want to say it's in infancy still, but I feel like gaming kind of only really just blown up properly in the last 5 so years, probably.
Oh, for
You
sure.
know.
Especially with COVID, right?
Right, for sure, man. I feel like it's coming eventually. And all the things that are happening, it's just circumstantial evidence to kind of say, hey, look, this is something we need to bring forward now because things are getting out of hand, right? Look at the whole Blizzard situation, look at Crunch.
Mhm.
I think it's a sign of the times.
I mean, we also looking at what's going on with Halo, right? I mean,
Mhm.
people were hungry for Halo,
Yep.
and one simple mistake, and they were forced to be pushed back. Don CJG, you got some news about Halo presently as we're coming closer to the end of the year.
Yes. So there's a bunch of Halo news what kind of dropped recently. Obviously last week at opening night live, we finally got release date for Infinite. Being December 8th, which is a bit later than I think a lot of people expected, but that's fine with me. I think like we mentioned, I think a week or two ago, we talked about kind of Forge and co-op being delayed. And, you look at that kind of stuff and kind of tying it into the crunch. I think that, they're trying to avoid this kind of last minute push for the game and just say, hey, look, okay, let's actually get this product out without having to, metaphorically kill ourselves to do it. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, it makes sense because the game is gonna be what's a first person game that just continuously changed regardless of I mean, the closest thing I could think about would be Destiny
and Warzone.
And Warzone. No, not Warzone.
It's a live service, isn't it?
It's a live service, but not Warzone.
Yeah.
No, it's the same thing because Infinite is not going to be an RPG.
No. It's what I'm thinking about is once the co-op comes in, we're talking like maybe 4 people playing at the same time. Nah, that might be next year, right?
If you're talking like, is there any other open world co-op first person shooters?
Yeah.
No.
I'm thinking,
there isn't.
I'm thinking like
in that respect, no.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Destiny, like their strategy of what they're doing with the battle pass and with worlds that they keep bringing in and enemies that they keep bringing in. It kind of makes sense, It's kind of sad that Bungie didn't get to do what they wanted with Xbox when they initially brought the idea to Microsoft, and then they were forced to just go Sony route. But now Microsoft is learning, and they're trying to do it with Halo. That's how I look at it. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But
well, I think I think they're just making sure the foundations are solid.
Right.
You look at this game's supposed to be supported for the next up to 10 years, right? You can't launch a janky co-op or a janky campaign. You need to get it set right, have that foundation stable, and then you can build upon that experience. Which is why I'm kind of thankful. Like, hey, look, release the game December 8th. That's fine by me if it means it's going to come out as a solid product. I don't. A lot of people who I see online, they're like, it's not coming out November 15th on the anniversary, and it's just like, it doesn't matter, right? Are we just doing this for the sake of just hitting a date because look, it's the special number 20? Like, who cares?
I'm sure they want to see it regardless, though. Regardless.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I totally agree with that because I think it was really notable that they said that they understand this is a live service game, so it's always going to be evolving, it's always going to be changing and growing. So to launch something a little later or whatever, even though it might hurt to say to certain people, it's not really a big deal because it will get added in eventually, and as also with even newer content. So as long as they keep true to that, and I know that they would, at least I can't say I know, right, because we never know, but I'm fairly certain these people really want to make, like, these devs want to make like the best game they can make. I mean, it's like a passion project, I mean, you don't work on a game like this without having it influenced you in your life at some point. The game series has been around for such a long time. I'm pretty sure most of these people like are diehard Halo fans themselves.
Yep. So something happened. I think it was last week. Not this past week, but the week before. There was a reveal of some worlds from
Starfield.
And I find it pretty cool looking, actually. It really changed the way I started looking at Starfield. Like, Starfield to me, I thought it was going to be like this whole space thing. I'm going to be bored, like, replicating Mass Effect, but having the RPG of Skyrim and stuff like that. I mean, I was completely like blank. Everybody was blank.
Yep.
But to see a world like
I
this,
still am.
but to see a world like this and you have this vibe of potentially being consumed into these types of worlds. And when you guys saw this, what came to your mind?
I actually have not seen it yet.
What?
Yeah, I've been busy on my vacation.
Okay, fair play. I guess it's up to me. Huh? I mean, I found that the information drop itself was a bit of a weird time. It just kind of came out of nowhere. I feel like I should have been in a presentation, so whatever. I don't think I particularly feel maybe as passionate about it as you, Onyx, to be fair.
Wait, I sound passionate?
Mate,
I'm supposed to sound passionate. It's a podcast, bro. Like, I gotta make something happen.
No, it's us British people are very just kind of stoic to regard. So, but yeah, I for me, it's kind of it's hard to buy into the idea, right? Because I don't really know what Starfield is yet.
Right.
So you just kind of selling me a dream on some pictures.
You
So
got
I
sold
think
on some dreaming pictures for Halo. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Halo. At least I played the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least I played the game.
No, I don't blame you on that, because it's almost like Cyberpunk, right? We're kind of like sold on something else and didn't get that delivery.
I mean, no, it wasn't even. It wasn't just pictures. They had like an actual trailer that was different.
Okay,
when it came out.
I saw some pictures. Oh, you want to talk Cyberpunk? Okay.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think it's interesting. I think they look cool, and I think there's a lot of potential within Starfield, right? If it's the game what I think it is in my head, I think that could be quite cool.
Yeah.
But until we actually see gameplay, I suppose next year E3, I don't even want to get myself. No, I don't think I want to get myself hyped, but I got nothing to go off of. You know what I mean?
I think they played it pretty well. I think they minimized the hypeness. They showed you enough information to show you what's going to be in the game, and how big the game would be, hopefully. But the hypeness, I also agree that they've also like simmered the hype to the point where if you have any disbelief that the game number 1 is not going to be exclusive, if the game number 2 is going to be, anything but what they're delivering, I think this is they're painting some form of roadmap to like a greater trailer that probably would be next year, hopefully. Well, wait, when does Starfield come out? Next year, right? Next year, yeah, 11/11/22. Yeah. So hopefully E3 we see something a lot more better. But when looking at the images, I see a lot of inspiration from Star Wars. A lot of, kind of not really the light versus dark, Jedi versus Sith, but more like,
just in world building, like
just the atmosphere. You have that type of feeling, because when you go to different worlds, you get different experiences, and it's drastically different. It's not like all look the same. So I hope that they follow through on that, where no matter where you go, you're gonna always have some form of maybe procedural or just a different experience that you say, hey, I wouldn't mind living here, honestly. So again, I'm not trying to be hype about it. I'm just looking at it and seeing what my mind tells me that they may be going, and that's pretty
for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch it, just haven't gotten around to it yet, because it's definitely something on my radar. I love Bethesda games. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I love the Fallout series. I love Elder Scrolls, and I'm assuming, like how Don was saying, like, and how you were saying, like, this it's gonna be like kind of like Elder Scrolls in space, and I don't think it's going to be completely like that. I have a feeling I think they are trying to push for more. But it would be cool. I think the fact that the best thing about it is the fact that they're using a completely different engine than the old engines that they have been using for like a long time. I think since like pretty much Morrowind time, maybe Oblivion. So I'm glad that they finally upgraded. That's the biggest thing I'm happy about.
Outside of World of Warcraft and Fortnite, is there anything else that came across to you this past week?
Well, I mean, I think I try to be pretty balanced, and I don't like to pick on Sony or anything, but I think there's things that, regardless of what platform you play on, you have to call it out, and you have to be able to identify it, right? Because I mean, if Microsoft were doing these things too, I think as a consumer, you want to point these things out because you want that platform to get better.
Right.
Why are you going to stick with something just because of namesake, right? Like Phil Spencer's not going to come here and give me like a Ferrari because I'm saying Xbox is great, right? Like, at the end of the
Oh,
day,
you didn't get that email?
I did not.
Oh.
But like, I understand if people have these connections to certain games like Horizon Zero Dawn, but the fact that they're trying to push, I don't like the fact that you pretty much had to buy the game twice because
I see what you
realistically, most people still only have a PS4, and they don't want to get an Xbox Series X. They want to get their PS5. Sure, cool, do whatever you want. But the fact that it's like Sony knows this, and the fact that they're gonna make you buy the PS4 version and then the PS5 version also, and there's not like that free upgrade. There's not even like a $10 upgrade.
But the free upgrade was offered originally.
Well, I think that was their original plan, right? It was like,
yeah,
hey, look, it's gonna be free. I think that was the same with a couple other games too, right, on that list.
Oh yeah.
But it didn't actually end up coming to fruition. So
and
I
that's
just feel like, I was thinking about this earlier, maybe a bit last night for the podcast, and one of the terms I heard thrown around was Sony is just trying to nickel and dime you essentially.
Oh, for sure. Because the thing about it, they're like feeling out what they could get away with. In the end of the day, that's what they're doing.
For sure. Like, don't get me wrong, both Sony and Microsoft, right? They're both companies. They're here to make money, which is fine. But there's two ways of doing it, right? You can be ethical, like Xbox are doing it. They're doing it really, really user friendly. Or you can be Sony, where you're just nickel and diming your entire install base because you can.
Well, it's not even just that. I mean, if your direct competition is not doing that, why would you do it, right? Like, Xbox is even giving upgrades to old games, like from the 360 era, like to play at 60 frames per second and stuff. So it's like, if they're going out of their way to enhance the experience of older games, not even like just last gen, but the gen before that, like why would you purposely do this? Like, the only way for you to technically have the PS4 and PS5 version is if you get like the best bundle version, which is that's not what everyone wants to do, and not everybody could afford.
And if you bought a standard bundle and you get a PS5, you have to buy the game again.
Yeah.
So if you didn't buy the bundle, you just shot yourself in the foot.
They would have definitely been in a better position if all their exclusives, not all their exclusives. Let me not say that. The games that can be upgraded on the PS5, because when you look at the way how Microsoft is doing it with smart delivery, it's not that you can just play it on the Xbox Series X. You can play it on the Xbox One. You can play it on the PC. You know what I'm saying? And then when Steam Deck comes out, you play it on that. It's still a PC. You know what I'm saying? But you're seeing how all these games are being able to be accessed on multiple platforms. Sony has the what is it called? The PlayStation. I want to say PlayStation Now and the PlayStation Plus. I'm not sure which one is the
Plus.
And you can download it on your computer, right? So my question is this: I haven't tried it yet. You buy a game in the PlayStation Store on your PS4. You don't want the PS5, but you have a PC that's basically more powerful than a PS5. Will they have you buy the game again on the PlayStation launcher versus Steam? That's a question I think people should gravitate to, because it is a download. It's no different than Steam launcher or Epic Games launcher, right? We're not hearing about it. What's going on with the PlayStation launcher? Why isn't nobody talking about it? Does it suck? Is it still feasible? I mean,
I do wonder how Sony got themselves in this position in the first place, and the only way I could kind of come to an answer, I guess, is I look at Microsoft did with the Xbox. They've made an ecosystem, right? Everything's connected. And then I look at Apple, right? The way they've done it. If you got Apple, all your things are connected too. I feel like Sony is still focused on individual product rather than ecosystem, and I think that's where they've really gone wrong. And now you're starting to see the issues with that. You're starting
that's
to see
definitely a big part of it.
The massive gap, right? They're thinking, oh look, PlayStation 4, PS5. When you think Xbox, you just think Xbox. That you think, okay, no matter what I've got, Xbox One onwards, it's all gonna work. It's cool.
You know what's happening though? When you think of Windows 10, you're gonna be thinking about Xbox as well.
Yep. Exactly right. Everything, what that company is putting out is slowly becoming interweaved, right? They're intertwined. They're connected, and so this is where I think you're starting to see Sony as a media company, and their flaws in producing hardware and software is that they haven't thought about this, and I think they're starting to learn a very harsh lesson.
Theo, when you go to work, right? Do you have Xbox as the app on your Windows when you hit that?
Yeah, actually I do. Yeah, even on the government computers, you do see that Xbox symbol.
Shame on you. Shame on you, bro.
I mean, I don't click on it. I don't want someone to see me doing it while I'm at work, but it is there.
But if you're in the office alone, Dio, you might. Your mouse might click accidentally on the Xbox.
Oh man,
dude,
the
only reason I'll tell you this, it would never happen. Not even just because I wouldn't want to get caught, but because those government computers are so slow, I wouldn't even want to hurt my gamer feelings.
I want to see Dio lag on a game. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him running backwards and start laughing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is what it is. I mean, honestly, right? Dio, I have a confession to make.
Oh,
okay.
I think before you came to Xbox, you were PC Master Race guy.
No, not at all. No.
So to see him running backwards and be like, ha. I'm playing.
The closest I don't think I ever really got into like the whole console war thing, because even when I was a kid, because I think it's definitely easy to do that when you're a kid, right? Because as a kid, you don't have money, and whatever system your parents get you, that's your system, right? So you're going to defend this to the death because you have no more options, right? So even in that respect, I never got like that, but that might have been because my best friend when I was growing up, he always had Nintendo stuff. So I got the best of both worlds. I would play my Sega Genesis and my Dreamcast at home, and then I would go to his house and play Super Nintendo, and the 64. I mean, I ended up getting 64 anyways also, but I always was more Sega centric, and not even because, like I said, of the fanboyism, just because that's what I got introduced to first. I mean, we did have a Nintendo before I had a Sega Genesis, but it wasn't mine. It was like my stepdad's. Gotcha. So I wasn't allowed to touch it when I was a kid. It was his just for dunk hunt. But
all right, so I got something special for you guys.
Okay.
All right, so first I'm gonna try and play this. This is gonna be our first reaction. Don is gonna have a reaction to something else too, but 2 Chinese games I promised 2 weeks ago, right? First one is called Faith of the Shant. I'm gonna play that now, and let me know if you guys can hear the audio.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, this is coming straight out of China.
Okay. COVID free?
bro.
Too soon?
Hey, we don't talk like that. We don't talk like that. But yeah, man. I find this very fascinating. It still looks kind of premature a little bit. Not how can I put it? It's not Wukong, all right? I'll put it that way. Wukong has some things they gotta do, but this game, I think Dio, you would like this game.
Yeah, it's looking pretty cool so far. I see where it needs to be optimized still.
Okay, yeah. This guy's jumping on trees.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Yo, those remind me of the Gremlins.
Oh. Okay.
And is the audio being played?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. All right.
But it's cool. It's fine.
Yeah. So, I the way how it kind of is structured is of course you know who the main character is. This is your daughter, right?
Okay.
And she gets kidnapped. So you have to fight your way to getting your daughter back. It's very interesting. I'm gonna encourage you guys to definitely jump in. Because you have no audio, okay, we can't get any live reactions.
Yeah.
But Don.
Hello. Oh, here we go. Here we go, Budokan.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, this bad boy. Yeah, I've seen this.
I've only seen fragments, so I've not seen it.
Okay, yeah, I've seen this. This one I hear the sound.
Oh, you hear the sound?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one I do.
I just I cannot understand. Like if I were him, I would just jump on this.
Trying to finish his breakfast sandwich.
And mango in his violence seems a bit. Say what a game does with visually good.
Oh yeah.
And it's
Yeah, I would say we sound very quiet in the background.
yeah, because what's going on? What's going on is because unfortunately the game is playing inside the Discord. It's messed up. So I'm trying to have to get the voice banana to obey me. But hopefully our voices sound a lot more better now.
We can only hope.
We can only hope. No. Can you say that?
Oh, maybe.
But yeah, man. But there's one last thing, right? Because and we'll get back to the podcast. We talked about PlayStation, and there's a game that just got announced, right?
Okay.
Oh, is this? Well, I think it is.
Not being friendly now.
Is this Project Max?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I did watch the trailer for that this morning.
Man, I couldn't get it. It's not playing. We'll worry about
Dang.
that. But what do you think about the trailer?
I mean, trailer's very impressive. Whether the actual game will look like that or not.
Exactly. You know why? Because I think they're kind of smart with it. They went gameplay and then they went CG. Gameplay CG. Because there's no way, right? You're jumping off of a cliff and doing these types of moves with the camera in position, not behind you, but beside you, right? No, you know what I'm saying? It looked pretty cool. I liked it, but I really want to see more of the game. It is something that's gonna go PlayStation 5, but you know, if it is exclusive, that will probably be the best looking exclusive that they've shown so far, in my opinion. Yeah.
Oh, easily. It looks insane.
Bro, it was like Final Fantasy 15 when it first launched. Like the way how the animations were. Really nice.
Yeah, I was just watching. I was like, this is insane. But I look at the comments on that video. It's like, damn, this looks like a game was gonna get announced and then disappear.
Well,
proper like Scalebound.
You guys know that.
Oh no,
that's hey.
Oh, I hear enough with that one.
Hey. Scalebound should not be used as a meme for any games right now, man. Yo, Scalebound was a joint, man, and I didn't even get to play it, bro.
Keyword being was.
The dream was good.
The dream was good. Platinum Games kind of shut it down. Oh man, I don't even want to get into that history. But yeah, it would kind of suck. I have a feeling come next week, which is going to be the 9th. I believe that's on a Friday.
Thursday.
That's next birthday. Week. No, actually, no, it's next week, Saturday. Whose birthday is that?
It's mine.
My birthday, September 9th.
Happy birthday. I don't know what we're going to do. Probably
Yo's turning 21.
21 with 20 years in the government.
Yeah, man.
On the 9th of like next week, Saturday, is going to be the PlayStation showcase.
Yes, it is.
So we may see more of that game, hopefully. Again, competition begets competition. We need more competition.
Oh, for sure.
So definitely.
I mean, speaking of competition, I think something that this is really kind of low on the totem pole, but it's kind of something that's interesting to me. I remember how we were talking about Netflix trying to build their gaming platform.
Yeah.
So recently, Dead by Daylight, and this has kind of gone under the radar for a lot of people, but they pretty much lost the license for Stranger Things because they have 3 characters from Stranger Things on their game. Yeah. They have the Demogorgon as one of their killers in the game, and they have 2 of the kids as the survivors. And a lot of players enjoy playing these characters a lot. And once the license is done, you're not going to be able to buy them again. And it's going to the point where the developers actually had to change up the names of the skills. Like, those characters will still be there, but they're changing a lot of the other things to fit, I guess, whatever agreement they had with them. And I'm pretty sure this is the first killer that their license ran out on them, because I mean, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, and a whole bunch of other killers that they have had never had these adjustments made, and you can still buy all of them. So this is, I think, in my opinion, like a weird thing to do, especially if you're trying to build a community for your gaming platform, because I see something like that and it makes me not really want to play on yours, because like you're already kind of rubbing gamers the wrong way by taking away, just like, you're not even like because you can't even buy Stranger Things 3 on Steam anymore either.
Oh wow.
And I think that's going to come off the Xbox store as well soon. So I don't understand the point of that, because
that sounds like a Disney versus Sony situation.
Yeah,
or like
exactly.
MLB situation, like
for sure.
Is Netflix big enough to continue to make those kind of moves? Is the question. Because if they continue to do that, either they're gonna really have to make their own, like they're gonna have to go the Google route, right?
Yep.
And of course not make a console, but like start doing internal development of games, because nobody's interested in getting licenses from a game that still exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. I don't see Netflix being that heavy to try implementing that. I know they've done it, like you said, with Dying Light, but that really is gonna paint a picture for everybody else. Like,
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
I think if anything, it just rubs gamers the wrong way. Where I think if you kept those, because I don't see how it really hurts their revenue anyway. If anything, I think it would attract more players. Like, oh, okay, I like playing as these characters in Stranger Things on Dead by Daylight. I like Stranger Things 3 when I was playing it on Steam or Xbox or whatever platform. But now I can't buy them anymore. My friend can't experience it anymore the way I did.
Okay.
and they're even taking out the Stranger Things map out of rotation for Dead by Daylight. So it's just so many changes that just seems really anti.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a little too much.
Well, what probably would have made sense, and from a business perspective, Netflix is trying to get into gaming. They're going to tie gaming into their streaming platform.
Yes.
If you're a subscriber, they could have put that game on their subscription. I mean,
They probably could have.
You open up Netflix, it shows a tab called gaming. Stranger Things is the only game there. Play it. You know what I'm saying? It's a testing ground. You retain the license for everything. People play the game. You take the numbers. You see what you can do moving forward. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
I don't get it. If you're trying,
I mean, there's some gamers who are so upset about it that they were even trying to come up with ideas for the characters that were the Stranger Things characters inside the game. So like instead of you being a Demogorgon, like you being a werewolf, like change, like they wanted to see skins completely different, like almost like to kind of stand up to Netflix in a way, like, you know, like, hey, do this for the consumer, because you know what, if they're gonna be like that with us, let's kind of have our own thing instead.
And so we can see the community becoming more modest.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
that's a definite.
Wow. Not sure if you guys have heard, but the guy who created PUBG, he was who modded Arma to create PUBG.
Yep.
He left.
Oh.
He left the PUBG gaming development, whatever. His studio is still called Player Unknown or something.
Okay.
But he's moved forward into developing an engine that creates worlds. And creates worlds. And the first project is basically called Prologue. And what you're going to be doing is you're thrown into a world. You have nothing but the tools provided, and you get from point A to point B. And he's basically pitching that so that, you know, anyone interested, you basically can buy into it, at your, I don't want to say it, you know how they say, you know, pay your way or pay your own price. I don't want to say that. It sounds like it, but I don't want to say it because I might be saying it wrong. You know what I mean? It's on YouTube. He's on there, but it's kind of like he wants people to experience it and, you know, provide the feedback, as well as if you buy into the development of the game, you know, there could be payment options. You pay, you know, if you believe in it and you want to put $1,000, if you believe in it, you want to put $50. Yeah, there's no significance in price. You're just putting your money in. You know, that's how I think about it. That's how it's coming across to me, but nothing has really been put into place yet as far as people being able to start the process, start playing the game. But it was just him in front of the camera talking about the project.
I mean, I don't know if this simplifies it too much, but so it's pretty much kind of like Roblox for adults, right? Is that like what he's trying to create?
I don't know. I can't even.
Sounds like kind of a Project Spark situation to me.
I don't think you'll be building a game. I think you'll just be playing in the game. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, not like Project Spark or like, you know, what you just mentioned, Roblox. But I think the world, like the engine itself, is I don't want to even call it a world generator. I want to say it's more like a procedural type of world, but I might be giving it too much credit by saying that. He didn't give it those names specifically, but the way how he said it is like just his technology is creating worlds. He and his studio is going to be putting this technology forward. So
I mean, not to say it's not going to come out good, but I mean, I played PUBG and
this is something from scratch. That has nothing to do
I know
with
it's something from scratch.
Yeah.
I get that, but I mean, I'm not impressed. So
Right.
I mean, instead of doing all they could to make PUBG better, they were so focused on suing Fortnite. And I'm not trying to defend Fortnite because I have my own beefs with Fortnite also. But Fortnite, no matter what you think of the game, if it's a kiddie game or people who play it are annoying or toxic or whatever it is, you can't deny it's a success. And they constantly bring out new content for their player base, not just like, you know, different versions of Battle Royale. I mean, they have different, like, completely different game modes, and a lot of these are created by players also, and they have contests for the players to do it, and they actually make it actual game modes. So they actually do what they need to do to make the game a better experience. Where they, like, how long was that lawsuit when they were trying to like do Fortnite? Like a year or two, instead of focusing on their game.
But
you know what I mean?
You know what the thing about it is? I don't think anybody took that lawsuit seriously on the outside because it was PUBG.
Of course not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, being that it's Fortnite, Fortnite in of itself was still young at that time, right?
Yep.
So nobody really knew what really happened, except they looked at PUBG and say, hey, that looks more viable than our zombie game that we're trying to make. Let's do a battle royale. Shoot, Fortnite can probably try and sue a couple other people. You know what I'm saying? You know, what is it called? COD. You know what I'm saying? They went battle royale. Yeah. I mean, but that's not how game development works. In my opinion,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's trying to innovate while staying on the same trend. So
yeah, and that's what I'm kind of getting at. Like, if instead of them being innovative and focusing on their game, which was a mod anyway,
right?
It doesn't give me a
and
lot
sell it
of.
For $50, or was it $30 or something?
I don't know how much PUBG is, but
yeah.
I just know I tried it on Game Pass because that was like the only way I was gonna try it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't impressed, and with how they handled the whole lawsuit and how they've handled the game in general. It doesn't really give me much faith that this new project is going to be anything special either. I could definitely be wrong. I would hope it's going to be something cool, but I just don't really have a warm and fuzzy about it.
I mean, we just got to wait and see.
That's my personal take. Yeah.
Right. Dio, you got something? I'm not Dio. Sorry, Don CJG. Sorry, I said Dio. Both of y'all got D's in your name. Y'all need.
Listen.
I'm gonna change the gamer tag.
Yeah, no. You know the whole.
Yo, you can't be yawning on podcast.
Yes, and I yawn all the time.
He was building a treehouse before this.
Yeah, no. You know the whole PUBG Fortnite thing is just. I feel like I don't want to say PUBG's dead, but it's dead. Let's be real, man. Like, when was the last time anyone even said the game? When was the last time anyone mentioned it in a public headline? It's just over, right?
I mean, it has its own community, but I think that same community is bouncing between Fortnite, Warzone, and PUBG.
Yeah, it was like I
think the mobile has more props than the actual game itself.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's not as like just accessible to get into. You know, Fortnite. You know, kids just jump in and bang easy. But you know, even me going back to PUBG not too long ago to see how it is, right? It's difficult to get back in.
Yeah,
you know, it's not easy, man. It's complicated. There's a lot going on. It's not a pick up and play game. I think that's where they've gone wrong with it.
And it's not even really fully optimized, honestly. Like, when I was playing on the Series X, and I was like really disappointed with it, like, because when I look at Fortnite, it is definitely a different style, artwork style. But the thing about it, like you said, it's smooth, right? Like, it's optimized to the point where I don't feel like I had to worry about a disadvantage because my character is running weird or not doing what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when you're playing an online game, you don't even want to think about that. So if the game's not even running well, and then you have to worry about internet problems on top of that,
like trash.
Yeah, it really does.
Like, if they, like you said before, right? If they'd spend the time, actually fix the game, make it better, maybe you have a better chance. But
for sure,
you know, it doesn't play that different when it came out. You know, I get they've been adding content. They added the season pass and whatnot just to monetize and keep sustainability. fair enough. But at the same time, like the game just still runs like trash.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I was playing Fortnite the other day, and I have a few different skins. I mean, I had the Master Chief, of course, on there, and I decided to play on that for a little while with my kids. On Master Chief, I'm like, man, Master Chief just looks so good. I can't wait for Infinite, because Infinite's gonna look awesome. But like, this looks pretty good. This makes me feel like I'm playing next gen, Halo already before it comes out. That's how good Fortnite runs and looks. It's a cartoony art style, but it's just, it just feels good. I mean, at least to me it does. Like, I mean, I know some people don't like it because of the builders and how they can, do all those things, and they feel like you don't have that advantage that PC players have. I mean, there's all kinds of arguments, but in the end of the day, the game runs well.
I think that the gap with Fortnite is much smaller.
Yes.
That's the thing. Because the game plays like trash on console, PUBG, guys, and you're playing against PC guys, you can't close that gap. It's too difficult.
It really is.
It's way too difficult. Remember playing a TDM match on PUBG? You don't have a chance.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Fortnite on the Switch even runs very well. And that's kind of like the bottom of the console at the moment. And it plays really well. My daughters do well on it all the time. They're getting like 20 plus kills a match. So.
All right, guys. Well, that is it. That is it for the podcast today. Thank you guys for showing up. We talked about a lot, and we have a lot more, especially since Sony's going to have their conference at podcast. But we will be, hopefully, we will see if we can cover that as well. Find a way to get that on the stream so we have some live reactions as well. You guys take it easy. Have a great weekend.
Peace.
Thanks, guys.